Hi guys, today we're going to be checking out the i7-2600K paired with 32 gigabytes of RAM and the RTX 3060, as you can see here. We're also using EVGA driver version 531.18 and we'll be playing at 1080p. Let's get into the game. Here's the game. If you look at the settings, very high settings. But we reduced ray tracing from very high just to high, with reflection resolution and geometry detail, and we reduced the object range to 3 because this will induce too much of a CPU bottleneck. As you can see, for the rest, very high and high settings. There we go. Let's get into it. Now, the performance of the i7-2600K, you need to remember the CPU is a decade old. Well, actually a little bit more than a decade old, but it still gets playable frame rates. 30s is not great by all means, but for a CPU this old, it's absolutely wonderful. If you consider something like the old Pentium 4s, you wouldn't be using a Pentium 4 from 2001, 2002 in 2011, 2012. That would have been madness. You wouldn't be able to even go onto the internet almost. But this CPU is still capable of playing AAA titles. Now this game is not so recent, but a remastered released version on PC is recent. They did quite a good job making this playable on even this low-end systems. Now, as you can see, the CPU is overclocked to 4.4 GHz. Now, if this would have run on stock settings, we would definitely be dipping below 30. So you'll obviously need to overclock the CPU. Now 4.4 GHz would be attainable by most chips, but you'll still need a little bit of good cooling, because the stock cooler or those old Intel stock coolers will not do the job. You'll barely be able to keep the heat down with it on stock settings. Now let's just get the average frame rate and 1% lows. See what we're working with. Okay. We're getting into the 30s. Anything above 30 is okay, all things considered. And you need to remember we are using Windows 11 instead of 10, and it's almost using a whole 16 gigabytes of RAM. So you might need more RAM than just 16 gigabytes. 24 gigabytes is okay, even 18 gigabytes, but that's a weird configuration, so I wouldn't recommend it. But yes, Spider-Man is playable on the i7-2600K with ray tracing enabled, mind you. But it's not a great experience, but it's playable. Now, should you buy the i7 to play this game? Well, I'd rather recommend you buy a newer i3 if you want to be cheap and save some money. You'll also get a lot more performance. But if you can find a very good deal, I mean like sub $100 for a whole platform with RAM, well, excluding the graphics card of course, but CPU, motherboard, RAM, under $100, maybe like $80, $70, and you think you'll be okay with this frame rate, then go for it. You can still play it. Well, this system is not going to last much longer. What I mean by that is newer games are going to come out and it's definitely going to be dropping below 13. Then you'll not be able to play any newer games anymore. But for time being, it's still playable. But we are on the edge, literally on the edge, of having most newer games not run on the system anymore. But yeah, you could still play it. Now, what CPUs could you buy otherwise, other than the i7-2600K? Well, if you look at something like the i3 10100, 12100, or 13100, those CPUs will outperform this one by at least 50%. They're also 4-core 8-thread CPUs with way higher IPC, support for NVMe drives, as well as higher PCI Express versions, because you need to remember this is on PCI Express 2.0, and it is holding back the RTX 3060, as you can see here, with like you're losing like half the performance of the RTX 3060 here. So you should consider buying new, but like I said, if you're willing to risk like $100, you can still play with this system. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more videos on performance with the i7-2600K, it's always fascinating seeing this old CPU still play AAA titles. It's just, I love experimenting with old systems like this. So if you want to see a game, you can comment down below and tell me what should I test next. Also, if you like this video, please drop a like. If you would graciously just press the subscribe button. Thank you. Bye.